Hi, welcome to today's video. We are on page 28 so far, lesson 8 of the Uke book. Today we're going to be introducing you to the right hand tools and techniques. So it says here, now that you've had some experience playing the ukulele, it's time to look at the tools that we can use to produce different sounds. Okay, so these are the options. Usually, I like to use my index finger and my middle finger, okay? Now, it says here that the index finger is labeled with an I, okay? And the thumb, T, can be downstrokes and upstrokes. I like to do upstrokes with my thumbnail, okay? And we also can do a combination of I and T. And so that's what I usually like to do. Sometimes I add my middle finger, which is according to this M, or I use a combination of I and M with thumb as an upstroke. So that's what I like to do. Okay, so another style, that's with the regular fingers bare. Another thing we can use is something called a pick. A pick is kind of like a little triangular shaped piece of hard plastic. We have these loose picks here that you will simply place between the thumb and the side of the index finger, like so. So we take the pick, place the thumb in the back, and the index finger on the side together like this. Let me show you this way, allowing a little bit of pick to be exposed so that when we play, it is kind of like a plectrum, or it can help us pluck or strum the string. So in other words, it acts as what the nails for the fingers were doing. Down, down, up, down, down, up. It is a little bit more brighter and louder of a sound, a little bit more distinct than just the regular nails. And of course, more than just the flesh. Okay, so that's an idea, that's a tool that we could use. I also like to use this thumb pick here that wraps around my thumb like that, so I don't have to constantly just hold on to that pick. This one's free, and it allows me a little bit less tension when using the pick. So there's that. And then the last style is to simply use the flesh of the fingertips like that to pluck them. And that's exactly what we're going to be learning how to do. We're going to be using all these techniques and all these tools. Okay? So, it talks about rest strokes and free strokes here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and read a little bit about that. It says here, there are two main ways to strike a string with the thumb, fingers, or pick. Strumming is usually done with free strokes, while melodies can be played with either free or rest strokes. So let's go ahead and explore a little bit about that. It says here that free strokes are the types of strokes you probably have already been using, whether you know it or not. It says here that the pick, thumb, or finger strikes the string or strings in an uninterrupted motion, either with a downstroke or an upstroke. Okay, and it says here with a free, so that's the free strokes. With the free stroke, the strings vibrate in a more lateral motion, roughly parallel to the top. So vibrate. Okay, now with the rest stroke, though, it says here that the thumb, pick, or fingers strike the strings and then comes to rest on the next string that falls in its path. That's interesting. I suppose it's kind of like picking. All right, so it says here that falls in its path or simulates this motion if there is no string to rest on. So like that. Okay, so rest strokes cause the strings to vibrate in a motion that is more perpendicular to the top. Okay, and this transmits more vibration to the bridge and creates a full round and sometimes louder tone. We can also apply articulations and dynamics to that. Okay, so here rest strokes with the thumb are usually by traditional Hawaiian thumb style players to get amazing tone out of their tiny ukulele. It says here at the bottom, technically the string vibrates in an elliptical or oval pattern that is wider near the middle of the string. Okay, so that's a little bit of explanation about that. Okay, so we have a little bit of a pros and cons list. We won't really discuss this. I suppose it's a really good idea to explore all the different techniques and tools that are available to you and to be flexible with all of them depending on the mood, the style of music, the type of music, and then, of course, your personal preference. For me, I usually like to use only my fingers, bare. I suppose if I were in a very large room and I needed to project my music a little bit more louder, and I didn't have the technology of microphones, I would use a pick so that people could hear me. Plus, I also like to pluck like that with my fingers. Another great idea to not have to use a pick is to have an electric ukulele. I don't have that one. I just have an acoustic. Okay, so go through these pros and cons lists and please try your best to learn all the techniques and the styles and be flexible with them, be proficient with them. And then there you have it. So thanks for listening today, and we will see you at next lesson.